What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the April 5th, 2021 edition of Raw Talk. This was the first time I've watched the show on Peacock itself. My network only discontinued after Sunday, and it's been available for weeks now, but I really wanted to wait until the last possible second to use my network account. And actually, it went fairly well using Peacock to watch Raw Talk live after Raw on Monday. Obviously, the issues that still stand with it remain in that you can't pause it, you can't rewind it, you can't pick it up from the beginning if you tune in late. I tuned in on time right after Raw, but it isn't exactly ideal. I don't know how long after it ended it was available on Peacock. I'm not sure how that works exactly. So there's still issues they have to work out with the live streaming portion of Peacock, with WWE on Peacock. But other than that, I had no issues. It didn't buffer, it didn't stop. I was trying to watch something on Peacock today, the live stream, and it didn't exactly work out. It was fine for the most part, but it cut out at least 2 or 3 times. But anyway, this was Raw Talk for April 5th, 2021, the final episode before WrestleMania. I don't know what's going on with R-Truth. He was not on the show again this week for like the second or third straight week in a row. Last week, I think, was MVP. 2 weeks ago, they had Xavier on. So Woods was back this week. He was boasting about his win over AJ Styles. He did beat AJ Styles by pinfall this week, which is, very surprising. And they haven't done a great job of building up that Raw Tag Team title match, but given the level of talent involved, I'm sure they'll knock it out of the park. But he says that they've beaten all the teams. The New Day has beaten every team that's been put in front of them. Whether it be a team that broke up or got drafted or whatever, they have beaten literally every team there is to beat in Omos and Ramos, whatever, and AJ Styles will be no different. He is nervous going into WrestleMania, though, he said. So they also recap Bad Bunny's car getting wrecked by Miz and Morrison, and I say wrecked, but really they just put like fucking finger paints on it, which was stupid. A dumb angle for a match that does have potential. And Woods says that come WrestleMania, Bobby Lashley is going to have to put up or shut up. He's been talking a lot about Drew McIntyre and trying to hire hitmen to take out McIntyre before Mania. Didn't exactly work, but come Mania, it's time to rise to the occasion for Bobby Lashley. So the first guest they have on is Braun Strowman. And he cut a decent promo on Raw this week. I hate how the entire genesis, the entire synopsis of this storyline is that Shane called Braun stupid and Braun was offended by that. Like, the entire angle sucks. And both guys have had, far better WrestleMania matches and better moments and anything else than this. This has just been garbage. Strowman, though, to his credit, could cut a decent promo on Raw. And the promo he cut here was fucking great. Like, this is what we need to hear more of on the actual shows. And I say this all the time with Raw Talk and Talking Smack. Where is this stuff on the actual shows? Because this was great. He was focused, he was serious, he was on point, he wasn't yelling the entire time. I thought this was awesome. He was motivated, this was great. He said he actually blamed Shane. It goes beyond just what's gone down between them in recent weeks. He also blamed him for not only costing him a spot in the Elimination Chamber, the WWE title match, which was justified because Braun is not a former WWE champion, but he also blamed Shane for his suspension back in November, which I think at the time we were told that it was via Adam Pearce, who was the official that Strowman attacked, but he's blaming Shane for that too. I'm not exactly sure if Braun's supposed to be the babyface here. I mean, who cares? But Strowman calls Shane a bully, and he doesn't know why he's being targeted by Shane, but it is okay to be different. And he is doing this come WrestleMania for anyone who has ever been called stupid or been told that they're not good enough. And he also goes on this really cool story, tells this little cool story about how he had a pretty bad back injury in 2015. I guess this was probably before he debuted on the main roster. I would assume maybe after, but probably before. He was almost paralyzed in his left leg, and he has, family members. One, I think his aunt might be paralyzed or something, and his mom almost died in a car accident. A lot of, pretty serious shit. And, he wants to be motivation to other people and to get in shape. And, people telling him all the time they went through this body transformation because of him, which is really fucking cool. And he chose a steel cage because he wants to ensure that Shane can't escape come WrestleMania. So I honestly thought Braun's portion of Raw Talk here was awesome. This was really good. Braun, his segments nowadays aren't the greatest, but I thought this was fantastic. They welcome on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The show immediately took a turn for the worst. I mean, I like Baszler, but this entire tag team shit is terrible. It's just not a good duo. The promos just aren't good. Obviously, they have no preference who they face at WrestleMania. There's a fatal four-way turmoil match, four-team gauntlet tag team turmoil match on night 1 of WrestleMania, with the winners earning a women's tag team title match on night 2 against Jax and Baszler. Of all the teams involved, they do admit that Natalya and Tamina have been looking fairly strong lately, unfortunately, because I hate the team, but they have been looking good lately in their opinion. But they do guarantee victory at WrestleMania. Reginald will be there at WrestleMania. And Baszler feels disrespected because of all the people that get a Raw Women's Championship shot, it should have been her because she injured Asuka. She almost put her on the shelf for a long time. And she should be the one getting the Raw Women's Championship shot, and she should have challenged Asuka. The thing is, which I completely forgot about until Kevin Patrick brought it up, that we had Shayna and Asuka on Raw like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Shayna got fucking killed. She got killed in like a minute and a half. It was just so sad. But I think it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so Shayna technically already got her shot. She really has no claim to the championship at all. Had Asuka not beaten her in a minute and a half, then maybe. But they did the match. They blew it off immediately, so who cares? You know what I mean? They do acknowledge that Nia and Shayna, they both acknowledge, they butted heads initially, but they became a cohesive team, which they're not. They still argue. But they say they became a cohesive team after realizing they were better together than apart. And Shayna also reiterates that she hates Reginald. They welcome on McIntyre last. He was showing off a new shirt, which I didn't think was a WWE shop shirt. It was way too cool to be a WWE shop shirt, and that's coming from someone who owns a lot of WWE shop merchandise, but it was like a jersey-looking shirt, and it looked fucking cool, and I guess you can buy it on WWE shop, which is awesome. Might have to pick myself up one of those shirts. It looks really cool. So McIntyre knows that Corbin isn't one to mess with, but he beat him anyway in the main event of Raw this week. He understands why Lashley did what he did in taking the championship from Miz and, helping Miz win the championship and then attacking Miz for it and beating him for it because he knew that he couldn't beat Drew. But come Mania, he's going to take his championship back. He can promise you that. And he feels that both he and Lashley have fulfilled their full potential in the last year after fighting in quote-unquote other companies. Impact. No, but seriously, I thought it was cool he referenced that because they didn't have many other matches in many other companies. Like, it's not Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think the only other feud they had outside of WWE was in Impact at Slammiversary for the TNA title 5 years ago. That's fucking cool he acknowledged that their history isn't completely exclusive to WWE. But he said to end this thing that he's ready to show the world why they are at the top of their game right now come WrestleMania. This was great. This was a great promo from McIntyre. If I had to rank them, honestly, I would put Braun at number 1, McIntyre 2, and then Jackson Baszler was completely pointless. But a middle-of-the-road edition of Raw Talk this week, and more Xavier is never a bad thing. Honestly, I prefer Xavier in this role over R-Truth. I'm not sure how, how realistic that is, but I don't know, R-Truth, I like the guy, but the guy's a goof, and as a host of the show, he's just not that good. But Xavier is great. MVP was good last week, and Xavier is obviously very excited to be there, so I enjoy his enthusiasm. And Kevin Patrick is coming along well. He does sometimes ask dumb questions, which is his only detriment, but other than that, he's done fairly well in the role, and being shoehorned into that role so quickly, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, check out the April 5th, 2021 edition of Raw Talk right now on Peacock if you're here in the U.S. or on the WWE Network elsewhere. A lot of fucking content coming here to the channel this week. Already today I put up my Untold on Foley and Edge from WrestleMania 22, so check that out. We got this today, obviously, hashtag tomorrow, a bunch of interviews in the next few days that have already been recorded, just not yet published, so keep an eye out for those. But yeah, just have a great week. Enjoy WrestleMania week. There's a lot to enjoy. There's some stuff of videos of mine that'll probably be going up later than they should be, just because I don't have time to record anything. I don't know when I'll do a Talking Smack review or a SmackDown review. I'm probably not doing it all. But the other stuff I likely will. So keep an eye out for all the content coming this week here to the channel. Hit the bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes up. And please hit subscribe if you haven't already to help me reach 5,100 subscribers. I would appreciate it. Have a great one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.